Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Horizon. It's a space where we help you grow your English naturally, one conversation at a time. I'm Tom, and today we're diving into something simple, but surprisingly powerful. We're talking about the morning habits of fluent English learners now. A lot of people believe fluency comes from endless grammar drills, long study hours, or complicated lessons. But that's not really true. Fluency doesn't appear overnight. It grows slowly, like a tree. And just like a tree needs strong roots, your English needs daily habits to stay alive and keep growing. The way you begin your morning shapes your entire learning journey. Your energy, your focus, and your first thoughts of the day. They all have more power than you think. Maybe you've tried everything: language apps, online classes, YouTube lessons, maybe even living abroad. Yet somehow, something still feels missing. You still pause mid-sentence. You still translate in your head. You still feel nervous when you speak. But what if the missing piece isn't a new course or a new method? What if it's simply a new morning? Yes, imagine that. A few small, consistent actions every morning could completely change how you feel about English and about yourself. So in today's episode, I'll share 7 simple morning habits that fluent English speakers often use to keep their skills sharp. And don't worry, they're all super easy. You can do them while making coffee, on the bus, or even while brushing your teeth. You don't need hours, just a few minutes and a little consistency. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let's start your English morning together. Fluent speakers often begin their mornings in English. The moment they wake up, they connect with the language. It doesn't have to be big or complicated. Even a few simple sentences can make a difference. Maybe you wake up and whisper, "Good morning, world," or you think, "Time to start my day." When your mind is quiet in the morning, that's the perfect time to fill it with English. You can describe what you see or feel. I feel sleepy. The sun looks bright today. I can hear birds outside. It's tiny. Natural thoughts like these slowly train your brain to think in English, instead of translating. When English becomes part of your real life, your morning routine, your thoughts, it stops feeling like a subject in school. It becomes part of you. You don't need long sentences or perfect grammar. Just start with a few lines, even 3 or 4. You could also write a short message on your phone, like, "Today, I'll stay positive and speak confidently." The words themselves don't matter much. The habit does. You're teaching your brain to live in English from the moment your day begins. And over time, this tiny habit changes everything. You stop translating. You stop overthinking. You start feeling English. And that's when real fluency begins. Habit number 2. Listen while doing simple things. Another powerful habit fluent learners share. They listen, even during small, daily moments. When they're making breakfast, they play an English podcast. When they're brushing their teeth, they put on a short story. When they walk or travel, they listen to something in English. They don't wait for the perfect moment or a quiet classroom. They use their everyday moments, and that's what keeps their ears active. Listening is like watering a plant. A few drops every day keep it alive and growing. And don't worry if you don't understand everything. You don't need to, even if you understand half. Your ears are learning the rhythm, the tone, and the natural flow of English. When you listen each morning, your brain begins to tune itself to the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation of English. Little by little, you start catching phrases, recognizing patterns, and guessing meanings, all without translating. That's how fluent people listen. Not to study, but to feel the language. You don't need long sessions. Even 5 to 10 minutes of listening is enough. The real secret isn't the time, it's the routine. If you begin every morning with a few minutes of English sounds, your brain will naturally shift into English mode. Later in the day, when you need to speak, you'll notice something amazing. Your words flow more smoothly, your confidence feels stronger, and your sentences come out faster. Morning listening creates a calm and confident connection with the language. It's no longer homework. It becomes part of your everyday life. Habit number 3. Read something small. But everyday fluent English speakers love to start their mornings with a bit of reading. Now, they're not reading for hours, just a few moments. Maybe one page from a book. Maybe a short article. Maybe just a few motivational lines that make them smile. Reading in the morning wakes up your mind with English words. There's no pressure, no studying. You're simply enjoying something that sparks your curiosity. You can read about anything you love. Travel, food, success, sports, self-growth. The topic doesn't matter. What matters is that it brings you joy. When you enjoy reading, your brain relaxes. And the words start to stick in your memory naturally. You can keep a small English book near your bed or use your phone. Even 2 or 3 minutes are enough. Try this little ritual right after your morning coffee or glass of water. Read one short paragraph in English. That's it. Simple, but over time, this tiny habit builds your understanding, your vocabulary, and your confidence. You'll notice that English starts appearing in your thoughts automatically. Reading gives your mind what I like to call a soft English breakfast. Now, this one might sound a bit funny, but it's one of the most powerful habits of fluent speakers. They talk to themselves. Yes, really. They describe what they're doing, how they're feeling, or what they're planning. They say things like, "I'm boiling water, can't find my keys, I'm excited for today." It doesn't matter if no one's listening. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. When you speak out loud, your mouth and mind start working together. You train your tongue and lips to form English sounds. You get used to hearing your own voice in English, and you begin to sound natural. If you're shy, you can whisper quietly or pretend you're talking to a friend. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is connection between your thoughts and your voice. Try it every morning. While making tea, say, "I love the smell of tea." When you look in the mirror, say, "I look ready for the day." Small moments like these may seem simple, but they build confidence faster than you can imagine. Fluent speakers know a secret. Learning something once is never enough. They understand that repetition creates mastery. That's why many of them spend a few quiet minutes each morning reviewing something old. They might look back at yesterday's new words, repeat a few expressions they want to remember, or re-listen to a short clip they studied earlier. They know that reviewing strengthens memory. It's like polishing a skill until it shines. When you repeat something regularly, it moves from short-term memory to long-term fluency. So don't chase new content every day. Spend a little time revisiting what you already know, and watch your confidence grow stronger with each review. Writing is another beautiful morning habit that fluent speakers love. It clears your thoughts, sharpens your focus, and makes you more creative in English. You don't need to write an essay. Even 1 or 2 sentences are enough. You can write about how you feel, what you plan to do, or something you're grateful for. For example, "I feel relaxed today. I'm excited to meet my friend." Simple lines like these help you express your emotions through English words, and that's a powerful thing. Writing also lets you see your progress over time. Many fluent speakers keep a small English journal. Every morning, they write just a few honest sentences. No pressure, no rules. It's a quiet personal space where English becomes a mirror of your real thoughts. And finally, one of the most powerful habits, setting a small, daily English goal. Fluent learners often begin their mornings by asking themselves, "What's one thing I want to do with English today?" The goal doesn't need to be big. In fact, smaller goals are better because you actually do them. Maybe your goal is to listen to one podcast. Maybe it's to use a new word in a conversation. Or maybe it's simply to speak English with confidence, even for 5 minutes. Small goals give direction. They remind you that every day is part of your bigger journey. And that's how real fluency grows, not from giant leaps, but from tiny, consistent steps. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me here on English Podcast Horizon, the place where your English grows naturally, one morning at a time. I hope today's talk inspires you to build your own English morning routine, one that feels calm, positive, and full of progress. Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing a little something every single day. Small actions create big results. And you're already on the right path. Keep going. Keep learning. And most importantly, keep living your English. I'm Tom, and this is the English Podcast Horizon. See you in the next episode, and until then, have a beautiful, English-filled morning.